Welcome, everyone. Hey, I wonder why my, what you call it, my message thing not showing. Let me see something that allow me to say to see people talking, or I can put a message in. That's weird. I'm normally able to see when people type me a message. That's weird. I'm normally able to see that. Oh, where is it? Check 1, 2. Okay. Well, I can't respond to any questions that people may have unless I go offline. But welcome. My name is Anthony Milton. You have been invited to from Facebook, if you read the message, to come to YouTube channel, The Hidden Tales of a Black Male. I decided on this message after talking to a female. She wanted me to, she always said, you need to talk about up-to-date subjects. And she gave me a title of a message, or When Do Men Become a Man? And I asked her, why did she say that? And she showed me something that happened every day. This person, this male will come pick up his wife and he would do a certain things. He does it every day. And I watched him. And as they walked to the car, he opened the car door for her. He took her bag, opened the back door, put her bag in the back door, in the car, in the trunk. She stood there and waited on him. Then he took her jacket off. He put that in the back seat. And then he helped her get into the vehicle. And then he closed the door. I said, wow. I said, do your husband do that for you? She said, nah. She said, he does it every time. And then he got in the car. And then I started thinking that in my early years, always use me in a message to use me as an example so you won't be upset or think, who am I to tell you something without using me as experience. So I thought about it. I said, wow, that is true. That we as males, black or white or whomever, do we behave? Are we married? Are you married to a boy or a man? But don't look at it as being insulting or condemning. No, I'm just stating in order to state truth, in order to explain something, you must come with a specific title and not sugarcoat certain things. So I thought about it. I said, wow, you see men walking on the street on the inside and women on the outside. You see men will run, if it's raining, they'll run to the car and they get in first while they shut the door and then they might reach in or hit the lock the button and let her get in first. You see men will go to the restaurant and they will walk in first instead of letting her go inside first. Men will sit to the table with a hat on, which hat is always for outside. Then men will, when a woman gets up and go to the restroom, he just sit there instead of getting up first. Then let her go to the restroom and he sit down. When she come back, he stands up and she sit down. When it comes to order the meal, he asks her what does she want. He order for her. So he start treating her like a woman. That is a man. A boy, not boy physically speaking, but a boy thinking is, I'm not going to walk on the outside because what if a car come? I'm going to run in my vehicle first so I won't get wet or just let her get wet, whatever. I'm not going to stand up when she goes to the restroom. That's embarrassing. I'm not going to do this thing. And then she gets mad with him. And so you acting like a boy. Why don't you begin to act like a man? I didn't marry a boy. I thought I married a husband. And my next message would be, I just thought about it momentarily, would be, men, are you married to a girl? Are you married to a woman? There's a difference. We talking about the mindset of an individual. So I thought about it. I said, wow, when a man, you see same-sex couples, male or female, walking through the mall or walking in public, and they holding hands, and yet married couple refuse to hold hands or whatever. That's not me. Don't hold my hand. I'm not that kind of woman. I'm not that kind of man. And I wonder, do they want do not The reason why they don't want their man to hold their hand is because they're cheating on him, or they will potentially cheat, or they will potentially don't want to be walking through the mall while holding their husband or wife hands because they don't want to let them know that that is their woman or that is their husband because they may be thinking or may consider to talk to another woman. She's, hey, I saw you walking in the mall with some so and so. I went out to dinner last night by myself. Now talking to the waitress, she said, I saw you sitting over there with a woman. I thought you wasn't married. I said, no, I'm not married. I'm not even dating. She said, you sure that wasn't you? I said, no. I said, if it was me, I would have told you it was me. She said, I could have sworn that was you sitting over there. So no, it was not me. It was not me. What if I was married and then she knew I was married and then she saw me come to the restaurant with another woman? What if am married unbeknownst to people because they haven't seen me walking in the mall in public holding my wife's hand? So it would be easy to go out into the public sector and cheat. And then I thought about it, just thought about it. It's a show come on TV called Cheaters. They follow the person may suspect their loved ones are cheating on them. So what they do, they turn around and they follow the person around and see who they're talking to, see who they're involved with. And when they get all the evidence, they bring it back to the person. Say, this is what your loved one's been doing. They have a lot of incriminating evidence. Even in the midst of the incriminating evidence, the person said, that's not me. Or why you cheating on me? Or why you have me follow? Or why I don't trust you? Get the camera in my face. They never want to address the issue that they got caught cheating on their husband or their wife or their future girlfriend or their future, or they might be engaged. So yes. So that don't look at this message as insulting you or condemning you, because I always place myself in this situation because I can say at times when I was growing up, I can say that yes, I act like a boy, thinking with the mindset of a boy, what good in for me, what's in it for me, how much I can benefit from this, what is my goal, what is my desire, not really thinking beforehand, call it, flip-flopping, jumping from one girl to another, only interested about the sexual aspects of it. And that was wrong. I was acting like a boy. I did not have the mindset. It could be considered. You can consider, look back in your past. Have you dated boys or have you dated a man? And women and men, have you dated a girl or a woman? Are you married to a girl or to a woman? I throw out this little tidbit. Women will think about it. She will support her husband. She'll support the things he do. A girl will say, I can care less who you think he is. I work just like you. And the relationship is not together. You're married but separate while being married. You're separate in your mind. A relationship should not be based on emotion, what I can get, what's in it for me. And I'm gonna date this person because how it benefits me, what I can get from them, not what I can offer to the relationship. So I thought about it and I said, wow, she's right. Do men behave like men? Do men behave like a boy? Do men consider the things that they do and the choices they are making when it comes to relationship? So don't look at this message as being insulting or condemning or pointing a finger. Because if you look at all the messages that I have posted, a lot of my friends say a lot of my messages that I have posted on Facebook or YouTube is spontaneous. It's not or what you call it, pre-recorded, edited for consistency or to rip out the mistakes. It's just pure word of knowledge or something that's come to me. So when she said, you need to do it, and she gave me another title of something else I'll be doing after I finish this other part of are you married to a girl or a woman? And I remember when I was growing, even right now, when I said, wow, I wish when I was growing up, I had the resources or knew of someone that I can learn or learn from. And I had to learn from other women what I think was a relationship through trial and error, making my mistakes. So a relationship should not be based on sex, on how good they're in bed, how they make me feel, whatever you think. If someone walk up to you, woman who's married, and a husband who are married, and say, why do you love your husband? Why do you love your wife? But before you answer that question, I want you to do this for me. Don't say they're good and bad. They got a good job. They got a house. Their parents look good. They do the things that I want. Don't say none of those things, but tell me why you love your husband and wife. And it shouldn't be about what they do for you or how they make for you. So what you have determined that's valuable in this relationship. And I said, wow, I had not had that experience when I was growing up. Trial and error, making mistakes, hurting people along the way, going by what I thought, what I should respond, self-interest, pride, and stubbornness. And when we face an issue where we don't know the answer, we should be easily to ask the question, you know, ask the question that can set us free from the self-imposed bondage. So I went online and I did some research and I found something that I'm going to go over, but I'm going to interject my points in it. And you find it interesting. A girl is attracted to boys. A woman is attracted to men. Nothing has to do with the actual age of the person, but we're talking about the maturity, their life, their vision, stage of life. In fact, some people, regardless of their age, will never grow up. You ever been in experience? You never grow up. You will never grow up. You keep doing the same thing. When are you going to grow up? When are you going to be a man? Quit being a boy. When are you going to behave like a man? And if you're a girl who lack independence or ruled by insecurity, lack of self-respect, throw tension tantrum, that kind of stuff, have a princess syndrome, you know, it's me, you gotta do this for me, don't have strong values or boundary, and you can't hold yourself on your own, then you are expected to attract boys. Some women will attract certain boys or men in their life because they want to control them. Yes, women do. Some women do like to control their man to say, do what I say or else, or they will behave in a way that's not custom as to women. They can be married or they be single and they don't think as together, they think as separateness. And that's a problem too. However, if you are a woman, independent, ambitious, knows your value and your worth, have a strong moral compass, is considered an able communicator that doesn't let her insecurity dominate her psyche, she should then be dating a man. If you can't spot the difference yet, here are some pointers. A man knows what he wants, so he goes for it. A boy may have somewhat of an idea, but not really. He doesn't think too much about it. Even if he does, he doesn't exert much effort to get it. A boy is passive and a man is assertive. A man plans for the future, working toward building a foundation in a relationship, going through the motion. If a man meets a woman, he should not his mind should not be on when I'm going to take her to bed sexually because I want to see what she put out in case I want to marry her. I don't want to marry her. A boy will don't care less when his goal will be to get to have sex with her. He's not concerned about the building a foundation. So if they have sex and she turned over and say, "What's my favorite color? What's my favorite whatever?" And he said, "I don't know." He go around guessing. A man will take time in a relationship to get to understand that woman, get to understand her needs, her wants and desire, to see if they are compatible to be dating in a possible relationship to engagement and to marry. Not say, well, I'm going to date her to get to know her for 2 or 3 weeks and then we're going to go to bed and then we have sex before we marry and then we get mad and get angry and then we break up and then we start the cycle all over again. A boy lives in the moment. In that moment, his plan are mostly around what's he going to hit up. What's he going to get? Yeah, I think I'm going out on the weekend. I'm going to meet this girl. I'm going to meet that girl. I'm going to hope I get lucky today. I hope I get lucky in this weekend. I think I got lucky because I met a girl and we met hit and set. Man, we slept the first time we met. I can relate to that. The boy lives in a moment. A man looks for a woman with intelligence, who is supportive and grounded, and have compassion, share the set of value when choosing her partner. She have a set of values. She's not going to allow herself to belittle. Some women, believe it or not, will date a guy for what they can get from them. He paid for her nails, he paid for her cell phone, he pays the bill, and that's what she got, a man that taking care of her, and that's why she's with him, and that's what her value is. It's not relationships built on, if he doesn't have any money or he's doing his best he can. A woman will encourage, baby, I know you have a dream, you have a goal. I know you didn't finish school, but go back to school, and I help you go back to school. I even help with your homework. We can make this work for us. We're doing it not only for us, for our children, or if we don't have children, future children. Like, we want to make our relationship better and stronger, not based on a roller coaster moment of, oh, we had sex Monday, we had sex Wednesday, we had sex Thursday or Friday, and that's all our life is about: going to work, having sex, eating, and going to the bathroom. Our life should be more than that. A boy will look for a girl that's hot looking or pretty or attractive, exciting. He wants that wild and exciting girl, but he doesn't really have to commit because he's paying her, but he's doing the thing that she wants him to do. So he's not going to be concerned about. A man knows a good woman when he meets one and will take the initiative to get to know her. A man will know when he meet a good woman. He will take the initiative to get to know her. Not all about, okay, I just met her, I'm gonna take out to dinner, maybe a couple of times, I'm gonna test the water a little bit, see if I can get in her underwear and have sex with her. I'm gonna play the role, I'm gonna pretend, so I always say, if I'm using Player Handbook Chapter 5, Subtitle 2B to get into someone unawares, a boy will make an attempt if he's lucky, but gives up before he ever really tries. He will make an attempt for this girl. If she doesn't play the deck of cards that he's shuffling, he just give up and go somewhere else. A man will take time. A man has to encourage. A man have has the courage to have an uncomfortable conversation. A man must have the courage to have an uncomfortable conversation. Yeah, baby, I should be more responsible for our money. Yes, you did point out my weaknesses. Yes, you did point out my strengths. Yes, you did point out my mistakes. You know, I appreciate you coming to me and being honest with your intention, because what let you know where I stand. A boy said, you talking to who? You talking to me? Hey, we don't even go with that, man. Don't even, you might even use profanity. I don't even want to hear that. I don't want to hear this from you. Just get out my, leave me alone. I don't want to have this. I don't even have this kind of conversation. You know my mom, who you telling me what to do. He will avoid those type of situations. He will run away or create excuses to mask his mistakes or create excuses to say, oh, you think are you assuming, and whatever. And I go back to my law enforcement days when I responded to a call and the guy and girl was fighting, and they were fighting for this reason. She felt, had no proof that he was sleeping around because they was in bed having a sexual relationship, and she felt that, wow, he been with somebody else, but she had no proof. So he got mad with her and they fought. So I separate the two, and he said, you know how some man are. So what do you mean by that? He said, yeah, I'm sleeping around, but she don't have no proof. So I repeated back to him what he said. You all are fighting because she have a feeling that you're sleeping around. You know you're sleeping around. She doesn't have any proof, and you want to hit her. That doesn't make sense. And when I said it to him, he's like, wow, you got a point there. And think about it. If you are in a relationship, women, with your husband or someone you're dating or someone you're going to be engaged to, if you were having a sexual relationship with that man or that woman, you know how he behaves, how he kisses, what he does in the bed with you. If he or she comes back to you, it's not a physical thing. You sense, you have a feeling that that man or woman been with someone else because they may kiss you in a certain way. They may do things or want to do things that you never did as long as you all been together. He may want to try it. She or she may want to try this or that. But if they're constantly doing something that you're not accustomed to, being married to them, you need to begin to think, are they cheating on you? Especially if they come to you and say, well, let's do this, let's do that, or we haven't do this, or let's spruce our relationship. So a boy won't care about all that. But a man will invest in his woman. He will jump 2 feet high to invest with his woman in the things that she wants, what he wants to make the relationship. A boy will just be testing the relationship, testing the water, not fully committed to a relationship. Never know what is genuine, only going by what he sees, what he thinks, what he feels, what's in it for him, avoiding the truth, pretending, representing. He's a boy. He will never change a thing in his life. Yeah, baby, I love you. But on the other side, he really doesn't love her. He's just saying it to pacify her. How can you say you love he or she and yet your action does not support that? Something's wrong with that picture. A man knows how to have a good time to be sociable, but is often busy making strides in his career and building his life. True. He's doing the best he can to provide for his wife. A boy don't even care about that. He go out with his buddies on the street and they go out and drink. They hang out together. Every weekend they go to a bar. They have man time. Nothing wrong having a man time with men. Nothing wrong having a me time with women. It's what you do when you go out with your women friends and what you do when you go out, with your men friends. A relationship should be built on a time alone where a man can hang out with his friends, his fellows, his compadres. A woman should do the same thing, but not in the purpose of having someone on the side to pick up the slack or whatever you consider a slack. A man take time to reflect on the type of man he wants to be. A boy would not consider that. You see older men and younger men wearing their trousers below their waist. I have talked to women don't like to see that, but they don't say anything about it. Special, I know because they don't know that person, but I've seen women walking with a man, holding a man's hand sometimes, walking with a young man or older person with their pants below their waist. And I say to myself, baby, did you not tell him to put up his pants because he's in public? They got it now where men have matching underwear to match every part of their clothing, even down to their shoes. I've seen men wear their pants so low below their rear end or below their private, walking in public. They have no respect for themselves. Yes, I'm gonna say have no respect for themselves. Some even have underwear you can see the stain in the back of the underwear. But yet I'm representing. Representing what? Some say, yeah, I know the history behind the sagging pants. Oh, really? Do you know it? Do you really know it? Oh, that's not me. If someone come up to me and with that attitude, I would just fight them. Why you have to go through all that? That is a boy-like thinking. Why do you want to dress like you've been, like they call him back in the day, bucking, where the slave owner took the black male out, made him stand on a tree trunk, and dropped their pants, and every man of the party, if you want to call it that, will go and have sex with the male and make the man wear the pants, make the man wear his pants below his waist, and he had to walk around through the plantation, and they call it bucking. He's been bucked. So when other wives or girlfriend or cousin or niece or nephew back in slavery, they saw a black man with their pants below their waist, they know that that person, as they call it back then, bucking. They've been bucked. I'm thinking about a horse. When you buck a horse, they get on the back. And they say they're representing. Why would you dress that way? And I said, you may think this funny. You blame, say, the white man making me do this and that. In behind it, who's making you do what you do? No one can make you do anything. You choose to dress in that form. So that makes it you have a boy mentality. Even older guys in the 40s and 50s, doing things like that to join, to connect, to be one of the buddies. But that's a boy mind thinking. If women begin to say, baby, we're not going out until you pull your pants up. I did a t-shirt, no sagging here. Don't date a man, woman. A girl would date a boy that sag. A woman will say, hey, I have respect for myself. You're going to respect me. Pull it up, take your hat off. I learned a lot from women, even when it hurts. When they say you behaving this way, you should talk this way. I remember a young lady told me, she said, Anthony, you and I just met. Let us build a foundation based on what you and I formed together. Don't treat me or talk to me or act a certain way with me based on someone else you dated in the past. How many of us date other people and then we apply what they did to us into that relationship. I met women that say they deserve it because all men are dog, and she start treating every man she meet as though he hurt her. No, build a foundation based on the relationship. That is when the man and the woman come together and say, "This is what I want in my relationship. This is what I want." A man takes time to reflect on what he wants to be in a relationship, what he want to be in life. He put values on his choices. He put value on his moral compass. A boy won't do that. He is often inconsistent. He may be one day Monday because he wants something Tuesday and then Wednesday and then whatever. And man has integrity. He means what he said. No, I don't have the money to afford this. Not, I'm gonna go rob and steal and get it for you or sell drugs. He followed through his actions, his promises for his woman. He has the gut to tell you why. Hey, I'm kind of low in cash. I didn't work the hours, or something's happened on the job. Just have a discussion. A boy make promises, don't even follow through. Yeah, we get married, and then 2 years later, you're still not married. A man a man is afraid of rejection, but will put himself out there. A man will be afraid of rejection. I've gone out and talked to a young lady and said, "May I have your phone number?" Yada, yada, kind of stuff. She said, "No." Okay, I had to put myself out there, and then I heard her saying whatever, and I accepted that. A boy is afraid of rejection. He act passive. His pride and ego gets in the way, and he don't even, try. His pride and ego gets in the way. He don't even want to come down to admit that he has faults. Now, you heard all these differences between a boy and a man. Take time, men or boys, and ask yourself, where are you? What mindset are you in? A boy play games, a man doesn't. A boy play games, a man doesn't. As I said it at the beginning, it's not about judging. It's not about pointing the finger. It's not about condemning anyone. It's called useful, helpful information that will cause you to think, wow, I need to hear this. If you like what you heard, share with other men or boys. You can share it with a young man that's 15 years old. You can share with your other friends and let them hear what you heard. To ask yourself the question, are you having problems in your marriage because you're not really behaving like a man or thinking like a man? Are you dating or getting engaged or have been engaged for many, many years and a month, and he hasn't even commit to a relationship? Are you dating a boy? Woman, you know if you're dating a man or a boy. I'm not saying get a divorce. I'm saying look at your relationship and recognize where the problem lies. Work on that problem to enhance relationship. Your husband should not be mad when you come to him and say, "Baby, I heard something on YouTube that I think you need to hear because I saw myself in it. I see what I have done and said things wrong against your character and your morale. Because you was trying." A boy, I don't even want to watch. I don't even. You don't have to tell me. I don't even know that because I know what I need to do. You listen to it yourself. Begin to call into question the things that you're doing and how you're behaving, and then that is the first step. There's always going to be a fighting and a wrestling, not with the other person, should not be with the other person, but a fighting and wrestling with somebody within self. You're going to be fighting yourself to do what's right, to do what's wrong. Do wrong. So if you like what you heard, hit the subscribe button, comment, share with other people, and hit the like button and let people know. Don't be afraid to share what you like with other people because you don't want them to think like, you believe that? You listen to that person? No, no, no. I had to get over all the videos I have done came from trial and error. A lot of them are live. Most 99% of my live. I will begin to start doing recorded ones, probably once a week, followed with a live video. But I feel more comfortable for live one because messages may pop out and I'm not sitting there controlling, take that out, reading the script kind of thing. So I prefer to go what I'm doing now. I recommend that you go to The Hidden Tears of Black Male, and scroll down to the videos and look at all the videos. I'm quite sure you're going to find something like, wow, that's me. I need to hear something about that. Wow, I didn't know this. I didn't know that. Begin to admit that you have issues, admit that you have faults, admit that you have problems in your relationship, admit that you can be better. And boys and men, recognize where you are. Work on being a man. Work on from coming from that level of boy-like thinking. And next Sunday, Lord will not be talking about are you dating or married to a girl or a woman. There's a difference. Like I said, there's a difference. We need to come with an understanding that the problem that we are having in relationships is doing and saying things before we should do and say it. We should, before we are ready for any relationship, we should be ready for self. We should be ready for self. We should not have a revolving door of dating. It's like when a movie star quit their boyfriend, then next week or 2 days later, oh, she's dating so and so. Did they just started dating 2 days ago, or that relationship was on a long time ago? We need to begin to think and ask ourselves why. Who benefits from this relationship? Who are benefiting from this relationship without putting out? Is there equal togetherness? Are we coming together as in recognize our responsibilities in the relationship? So again, share, subscribe, and like. God willing, next Sunday.